What's up, guys? Coach Dan here, and we're back for another edition of Sunday School. And today in Sunday School, I'm going to teach you how your body burns fat. And it's a super interesting conversation, so grab your coffee and we'll get started. The normal fat cell is in your body to store energy. That's what it's there to do. And everybody needs to have fat on their body so we're able to store that energy, and it has multiple purposes. The thing is, the body will expand the number of fat cells and the size of the fat cells depending on how much you eat versus how much you do or put out in energy-wise. So if you're eating too much and not doing enough, and you're taking in more calories than you're putting out, your body will actually increase the size and the number of fat cells it has. And the more you do that and the more you continue to gain fat, you will actually start to put it on muscle and over your organs and even worse places for your health. So kind of the bigger you get, the worse it gets. And that's why we need to make sure that our diet and our exercise is on point. Historically, for humans, fat storage is a really good thing, because the people who were genetically supposed to or had the ability to store more fat actually survived because they would go for longer periods of time without being able to eat. They would be able to use that fat for storage to use energy, get away from dinosaurs, all those kind of things. And if you were that genetically predisposed person to gain fat, you were actually way better off. So for all of you guys out there who think that your genetically gifted friend who has a six-pack and can eat whatever he wants is super gifted, he's actually not. He would be the first person to die. So you can tell him that you are storing fat because you're able to survive, and if there was a dinosaur coming, he'd be the first one who would die. All right? Now that we don't need to be storing so much fat for survival, it's actually really good for us to maintain lower levels of body fat. When a person begins and maintains a kind of a new exercise program, limits their calories, and starts to lose fat, what happens is the brain signals fat cells to release in energy packages or fatty acid molecules. And they get released into the bloodstream. The muscles, lungs, and your heart pick up the fatty acids and they break them apart and use the energy stored in them to do your activity. So it starts to use the fat in your body as a source of energy and starts to burn it off. The scraps that remain are discarded as part of respiration. So all the rest of the fat molecule that wasn't burned off, you actually breathe out, which is kind of weird and gnarly to think about as you're losing weight and you're breathing fat out of your mouth all the time. The cells actually have a short lifespan, so when they die, the body absorbs the empty cast and it doesn't replace them. So your body's not trying to put fat back on your body unless you're eating too much for what you can handle. Over time, the body directly extracts the energy or the calories from the food to the organs and then uses them as fat instead of storing them. As a result of that, the body will readjust by decreasing the number of fat cells in your body and also the size of the fat cells. And that's why you see as people do a 6-week challenge and they're burning off those fat and breathing them out, they start to get smaller, and that size of their belly goes down and the fat comes off their face. And that is what's happening, is that the body is using that fat as energy and getting rid of it because it doesn't want to have it. So not only is the number of fat cells come way down, but actually the size of the fat cells that you're going to keep is actually going to shrink. That's what's happening in your body when you start to burn fat. And when you exercise more and you eat less, your body actually doesn't need that fat anymore as energy, and you're able to get rid of it and kind of get the body that you were looking to have. It all comes down to the same simple rules, but sometimes it's really cool to understand what's going on in the body to make that happen. And that's what Sunday School is all about. We want to give you a little information to help you understand how your body works and hopefully help you to continue to work towards a healthy lifestyle, and that's the RadixLife. We'll catch you next week on Sunday School.